In a 10-minute conversation, told an average of 2 to 3 lies in a 10-minute conversation. How many 10-minute conversations are you having a day? And are you being truthful with the person you're talking to? More importantly, are you being truthful with yourself in that conversation?
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this, maybe you're even doing both, which is even better because sometimes we have some cool graphics that come up on the screen. But if this is your first time here, you just found the best damn podcast that you've ever heard or seen, or again, both in your whole life. We are known as Old Guys Still Rock, better yet as OGSR. Today, we're going to be in episode number 167. Like, whoa, wait, 167? How have I never heard about you guys? Well, this is a great opportunity just to press pause right now. Go back and watch 166 other episodes. Catch up to us because we have some really good ish that comes out there. But today we're going to be talking about, are you a liar? We're going to kind of get into it a little bit. But before we get to that, I'm Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker. I'm a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate, located here in the beautiful, beautiful Coachella Valley. Today, it is so nice and balmy at about 110 degrees with about 45% humidity. I am sweating, but, it just gets rid of all that winter fat. On my left, possibly your right, is the other host and best friend for over 30 years, Brett Wright of Brett Wright Incorporated. That cat is over in Eugene, Oregon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But he is a man with many different hats, from body shops to detail shops to financiers, which you saw last week on episode 166 with his wife, April Wright. They own Wright Wellness Center. He also has payroll companies. He is a multiple property owner. He is also, which we have not talked a little bit about, maybe we have numbers with that today, but he's also part of a venture capitalist group. They have a company called bustedtees.com. So we are in summertime. We're actually kind of getting over summer already, believe it or not. But if you're a novelty t-shirt guy or girl, go check out bustedtees.com. Go check it out. They have thousands of t-shirts. And if they don't have what you want, there's some opportunities for you to create your own. So that was a really long introduction compared to the last couple of weeks. But how are you doing, my dude? What is going on in your world in the 541 area code of Eugene, Oregon?
So we had some of your weather the last few days, 86 degrees at 9 o'clock at night.
That's warmy pie.
98 on the tarmac yesterday at the end of the day at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's been a blessing to have air conditioning, I will tell you.
Dude, I was just talking about the other day because you look back in the early 1900s, 1910, 1920, when Palm Springs was actually a town, and how these guys survived out here in 100, 130 degree heat without any AC. I mean, they would, they just get blocks of ice and kind of stand. It's insane to me how they did it.
Well, they're probably like my wife. They're like a lizard. She loves the heat.
Does
right?
she?
Oh yeah.
Well, probably does. It probably does well for her stuff, right?
Yes, it does. It definitely helps her lipedema. So when we're sitting out by the pool, she's laying in the sun, I'm in the shade, I'm sweating, she's loving it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Busted Tees goes, we had an interesting turn of events. Okay. So we had our Death Star Digest page last year was shut down by Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
This year, about a month and a half ago, we had our Busted Tees official page shut down by Instagram and Facebook.
My God.
We had over 1.5 million followers. We had, 3.5 to 6 million interactions every month. And for no reason, they just shut it down. Right. And so now we're having a meeting today to try and figure out how to regroup and start a Busted Tees official page is my goal, and try and get back out there. But we've definitely seen a drop in sales because of it.
Absolutely.
And again, the hard part is who did you offend, right? Because That's the only reason you get shut down is we offended somebody who is a keyboard warrior and pushed out a notification to Instagram and they shut us down and they don't respond.
Right.
Per typical, no response, can't get a hold of anybody on the tech team, can't get anybody to there's been no response. And so we're trying to figure out how to regroup and rekindle that and rebuild that to try and get some traction. But right now is the slow time in the e-com industry is starting going to start to ramp up in September. One cool piece that has been very helpful and very beneficial for business is we've had a couple of sales to business owners who want to brand their business. So if you want to brand your business, we can help you with those cool hats that Blair has. We can help you with embroidered shirts or screen printed shirts and get merch out for your employees, for you, for your customers, things like that. So if you have a brand and you're using somebody else, we'd love to give you a quote. We just saved a guy over $3,000 off of his normal order.
That's amazing.
And so cost savings, better quality stuff, all those things. So
Let me ask you this, my dude. I just got a bunch of we have an inside for Cutter Buck because of Chrissy's in the industry, and I have a bunch of apparel. If I ship that to you, can you stitch?
maybe, yes, it might not
Okay.
be cost effective, but we can
Okay.
see.
Okay. By sides of that, I was just thinking about this today. Let's go back to social media for just a second. Obviously, they're putting these crazy restrictions on and all these different things. Here's a thought. I'm going to rip a hole in the universe to our subscribers and to our followers right now is I'm really thinking about taking our page private and not only on Instagram, but also on that stuff. And so we can actually control of who's in there. I know that we want a widespread. It's going to have to kind of come organic, but we'll be allowed to do different things that aren't under the microscope of the bots in this world that we have. So let's talk about that obviously offline. But I've just been thinking that have a subscribe page that was specific for our followers and subscribers, and we can invite people, but it is going to be on under a stipulation, so we're not controlled by big media. So enough of that stuff. Anyway, so you came up with this topic. What you don't know, there's a man behind. There's a man in the box, which you guys can't see out. His name is Jackson Bray. He produces all of our stuff, so we're very grateful for him. Well, the other day we had a meeting, and you came up with a topic that I just absolutely love. Today's a perfect day for it. As I told you pre-show, I am a little spicy today, so if I get a little passionate today, guys, just fair warning. Make sure kids are not in the room when you're watching or listening to this. Anyway, but you came up with the topic, are you a liar? Obviously, when you come up with this is what I know and I love about you over the course of 30 years is that something got in your paw that kind of drove you a little bit crazy. So when you came up with that topic, what were you thinking about? And let's just go.
Yeah. So the truth is uncomfortable and inconvenient. And most of us, me included, not judging, relating, usually tell ourselves lies to make ourselves feel more comfortable. In business, we say we're doing everything we can. We're taking care of the customers the best that we can. Well, really, are you? Are you doing the best that you can? I've had multiple meetings over the last week and a half with people sitting right across this table from me who say, I don't know how you do what you do. I don't know how you move the needle so hard and so fast. I just can't seem to get anything accomplished. I just can't seem to get there. If I'm measuring myself against you, I feel like I'm failing all the time. Guys, I'm measuring myself against myself, and I'm measuring myself against the amount of hours or minutes I have left in my life. I can't keep up with me. But what lies are you really telling yourself to make yourself feel better, to make yourself more comfortable, to make it more convenient?
No, I go through that. And that's why I swear to God, I just love that God has put you in my life, and you have brought me a long way from where I was. But it also takes action on my part. You can tell me a bunch of shit, and if I don't do it, then I'm really going back to what you said. I'm just lying to myself, right? It's like going to the gym. It's the same thing with you. I mean, going to the gym for you. There's days that you're not feeling it, but you get in there and then you surprise yourself like, well, you know what? I can do this, right? But it
And
is
I
a
feel better.
I feel better. Um, I'm surprising myself. I actually got to the lowest weight I've been since the end of 75 hard, which is 2 years ago. Actually, the Live Hard program, I'm down to 185 from 195 about 2 months ago. But I'm surprising myself because I just felt like, maybe I've just kind of hit my plateau in strength and I'm finding myself getting stronger and stronger. But there's this stuff in my head from you, like, okay, you know what, just take it easy today. But what type of leader can I be if I'm just taking it easy? If I'm not constantly pushing myself, and if I'm not pushing myself, then you are really I'm becoming the liar.
Well, what kind of leader are you if you're telling your people to do all these things and you're not doing them yourself?
100%. And there's a toll to that though, right? There's a massive price to telling like, okay, hey, we want to do this. We're going to do this, this, and this. And if you're not carrying the weight, then what is it? Why should they follow you? Now, on the other part of it, when people are making excuses that, oh, I have this or I have this, like you guys were talking about your guys at your table last night, then what's the point of even being here? You're sacrificing your time. We're gonna keep on your subject. You're sacrificing your time, taken away from your family, taken away from the leisure things that you want to do to help to create them to be leaders. So when is it gonna, and I keep finding this, and there's so many, we talk about this all the time. We find these guys that really want to do it and do all these different things, or be on the golf course, kind of being in work, being in relationships, whatever to it. And they keep wanting to hit that easy button.
Are you the best husband you could be?
Absolutely not.
Are you the best real estate agent you could be?
Absolutely not.
Right. And so, but are you telling yourself every day? Because again, we say, in coaching, it's, that fake it till you make it. There's a lot of coaches out there that will tell you fake it till you make it. So, in essence, you have to lie to yourself a little bit to say, I am the best, but then evaluate what is the best and are you there? Am I the best father I could be? No. But at what level and at what point do you say, you know what? I'm going to stop lying to myself and I'm going to take action and I'm going to make something happen.
And you got to stop depending on anybody else to take you there too. I think there's a lot of that. People expect to ride coattails a lot in this world with the easy button. That, hey, okay, I've got this opportunity. I'm just going to kind of ride this. I'll get the exposure that I need, and so forth. But realistically, at the end of the day, it does come down to, like, you again, sticking with your employees. It comes down to like, sooner or later you've got to pick up that baton, because there might be even a point in time that someone may be leading you in your company because they find that extra gear, right? And it takes a village, which we always hear about. But I just see, I just see that so much in society. Is just like, oh, I just don't want to put the time into it. But they're the ones that are sitting around complaining about things aren't getting done. So what are you doing about it? Okay, you want all this stuff to get done. So what are you gonna do about it? When are you gonna, as I said, what are you gonna take the baton? When are you gonna take? Well, when are you gonna be the front of, like, you're gonna be the car that people draft behind to
Mhm.
kind of catch up with momentum? There's just so many different scenarios. So when you're going through your coaching, which, by the way, which we did not mention, guys, so when you're watching this, go back and watch another 166 episodes of this. But Brenna's a really good business coach and personal coach. So if you're trying to build that with your team, or you're trying to build that within yourself, I strongly suggest that you reach out to him. We'll put this in comments of where you can find him. Linktree.Brett Wright. Don't put the dot in there, just put Linktree Brett Wright. So, but when you're coaching people, and I'm sure that you're hearing a lot about this, because I think that realistically, our society is a little weak right now
Mhm.
with the amount of leaders we have. How are you getting people to at least just pick up the baton? I'm not saying carrying it to a certain point, but let's get out of the loop and pick up that baton and start being a leader, especially in the entrepreneur sense of coaching.
Yeah. So we start out with basics. What are you doing to personally make yourself better? What are you doing as far as SOPs and processes to make your team better? What are you doing to stop lying to yourself? Nobody has the best business out there. If you did, you'd be a bazillionaire and you wouldn't need a coach. That's what they say. But I will tell you, some of the most wealthiest people I know engage a coach still for many different reasons. Sometimes personally, they're struggling, even though they're successful in business. Sometimes their business has reached a plateau and they want to hit another mark. I've personally guided and coached people that are worth $100 million. I don't have $100 million. Why are they engaging with me? Because they're looking for that one little thing. They're always constantly looking for that one little thing to give them an edge. Most of the time, I ask this question, are you a liar? It's in regards to what are you telling yourself to make yourself feel better for the crap that you don't deal with? Because that's really the bottom line is we're all telling ourselves things to make ourselves feel better for the things that we're not taking care of, that we're missing on. We're not listening to people's suggestions. We're not listening to people's reflections. I have multiple business partners across multiple companies. And one of the things that has come up lately is I'm just doing my best, Brent. Well, really, are you? Am I doing my best to be the best business partner for you? Could I improve? Sure. Am I using that as a crutch to validate and justify my lack of action? That's the question to ask yourself.
Does it drive you crazy knowing and again, knowing your standard, and you're right, a lot of people, if you looked at Brent's schedule, you're like, "Absolutely, there's no" it will drive you insane, and I've known you for 30 years, and it still drives me crazy. It's impressive, trust me, I would love to do that. You're actually that guy that I constantly chase because, if I said in the past episode, God put us here for only one reason, to be great. And wasting that talent, wasting whatever you have inside of you, and everyone has different talents, but wasting that is really, you said this, and this just came to my mind. Are you lying to God?
Hmm.
If you're saying that you're doing the best that you can do and God created you, yeah, today I'm just not feeling it. Well, I just put you on here to be something great, to carry the torch, to carry the light, to be the leader that I know that you can be. And now you're telling me that I wasted my time? So realistically, it goes back to the, looking in the mirror every day, your 3-minute look in your mirror and stuff,
Hmm.
And if you haven't heard that episode, we'll just do this right there. If you feel that you're giving it all your all, can you look at yourself for 3 minutes and say, yeah, Blair, I'm giving it my all today. I put everything on the table. I'm spent. I have nothing left in my tank. Or like, you know what? I could have read those 8 pages, or I could have read those 10 pages. I could have done this even though that I didn't want to. I, and I think sometimes you and I want to build fires for other people, and it's frustrating for us, for you and me, especially you, when you constantly raising the standards, and you're working with people to help them raise their standards, and something's not going on.
Yeah.
You've been in that leadership role with multiple different businesses, with sales associates and payroll companies and all this other things.
Hmm.
I mean, that, and you and I have had many conversations like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So those are the hurdles that I think a lot of us, especially as entrepreneurs, face. Chrissy's had some stuff and she'd come back to me and I'm like, okay, well, try this. And so she's constantly searching how to become better and doing those things. I'm sure April has some situations once in a while with employees or even just with members, trying to help them to get to the next level. And having that vulnerability to know that you're just not quite there yet, I think is a big thing. People don't want to not only fail maybe their bosses or themselves, but they just don't want to fail, period. But they won't ask of how to get to the next spot, or they won't take that extra step.
Well, just generally, Robert Feldman had a research project in the early 2000s where the participants of this, and you can look it up, in a 10-minute conversation told an average of 2 to 3 lies in a 10-minute conversation. How many 10-minute conversations are you having a day? And are you being truthful with the person you're talking to? More importantly, are you being truthful with yourself in that conversation? I did my best. Did you? Did you do your best? Or could you have done one more thing? Back to the power of one more. We have had that podcast as well. It's not to say that most people intend to lie. It's just they tell themselves things to make them feel better. It's embellishment. It's the professional white lies, and they all cascade. How many times have you told a customer, "It's on my desk. I'll have it to you by Friday."
Funny,
And it's
funny.
never been on your desk.
Right.
Or when have you said to a client or a coworker, "Great meeting." Is discussion omission a lie? I would say yes. Here's one for you. You probably said this in your marriage. You probably said this to a client. You probably said this to a prospect, a coworker. I'm fine. But are you really fine? We need to figure out how to draw the line between outright lies, white lies, exaggeration, and here's the last part that's the most important: creative memory. Most people can't remember crap. I use the term CRS. Okay. So they create a memory that never really happened to support and validate a discussion that they're having, or to support and create a memory to make themselves feel better in something that they're doing.
To go back to what we talk about a lot is just, finding a spot. It's not so much maybe the easy button, but it's just to make themselves feel comfortable, even though that they're, is it a comfort word that I did my best? I did my best. Do you think, and we talk about this all the time too, Kobe Bryant, you're 3 games up on the series, why are you pressing so hard? Job's
Yeah.
not done. Job's
Yep.
not done. Job's not done. And so when you guys set these goals and you do these different things, and trust me, guys, by the way, is for those of you your first time here, I'm just going to preface this right now. This is kind of therapy for Brett and I to hold us accountable. Obviously, we're going through some ish, and and our standard is constantly raising. And so what we're doing is we're giving you transparency, we're giving you vulnerability that you're not in this alone. By no means are we the ultimate fix it, but hopefully when you're listening to this, there's something that's triggering you know what, I do have that other gear that I've been pushing off today. To starting today, or starting right now when you're watching this, I am going to start this second to start making those changes. Maybe you're stopping and writing stuff down, whatever it may be. Maybe there's a person, maybe there's an employee, maybe there's a spouse, maybe you have somebody that's going through a relationship issue. Today, I'm going to help them find that extra gear. The whole point of this podcast is not only to help yourself, but to help others. Because as we've always said, is there's no white horse to come and save you. So if you know deep down inside you, like right freaking now, that you have another gear inside of you, better effing find it,
Grab it and go.
because it there is it's not going to be easy. No one was put on this earth to have this easy life. You want to go ahead and say, "Oh my God, look at this great place that I'm on over on Instagram," and you want to have this rainbows and butterflies, and so in this fake world of social media. But are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with your spouse? Are you being honest with your employees? Are you being honest with your kids? Yeah, well, I'm calling you out, but I'm also calling myself out. Brent, when he's hearing me speak, there's things in here that I'm burning him. Like, yeah, I effed up the other day on this. There's something in there that he effed up on, and
Constantly.
so we have decided over the last couple of weeks, we've got to get real with ourselves. And this helps us get real, because if we're going to, again, hold the baton and we're going to try to help you and run beside you with this baton to help you get across, we have to help ourselves accountable. But we freaking need you guys, ladies, people. You need to pick up the freaking baton. Let's effing go, man. I mean, yeah, I told you at the beginning of this episode, I'm spicy. I'm so tired of mediocrity, not only in myself, but in others. It's like, when are we gonna become great? And if you follow John Maxwell, I throw him out, or Ed Milet or Andy Frisella, there is so much room on the top for greatness. But when is your turn? Or are you just gonna let somebody else do it? Oh, I remember we had a discussion about this the other day, about your houses, right? Perfect timing. And that person said, when you got your house,
You just realized my lifelong dream to own the whole block. Why was I the one to realize your dream? Why didn't you realize your dream? Why are you pushing your dream on me? Why are you pushing your failure on me? to achieve your dream.
Yeah, when you told me that, bro, especially, obviously I know who that is, but I mean, crazy,
Hmm.
crazy. Because
Well,
in a roundabout, if you look on the person on paper, they're very successful
yeah,
in so many different avenues. They're successful in their own right, but they didn't take that extra gear, right? That's crazy to me. You could have done it
they were 2/3 of the way there,
and then end up selling it
and
to you.
and they gave up.
And you didn't do it too. Is just to preface this too. Is this you didn't do it as an fu to him?
No, no, it was
This
an opportunity that I
Well,
took advantage of because the opportunity came up, and yeah, it made me uncomfortable to take on that opportunity, but I also chose not to be a liar to them and not to be a liar to myself. I told them many years ago, "You decide to sell, look me up, I'll buy. I'll figure it out. Whether I have it or not, I'll figure it out." And I validated that with my actions, and I validated that to myself by making it happen, even though it was extremely uncomfortable. Big question here, guys, that we're trying to answer today is lying just being part of being a human, or is it a character flaw you've gotten too comfortable with?
and I think we all can. I think we can all look at ourselves at that one, and so we have become comfortable in different areas. But sometimes, most of our subscribers and why we have people follow us or comment on our pages because they're starting to realize that themselves as well. And that's why we love our community so much. Is we have those people and they're doing the best and they realize that it's better together than better by themselves. But that, we can all look in the mirror and say, yeah, I missed that one. And it's just time that, I even try to bestow that in my team, and I have to earn that leadership role. I get that. I'm in a great book right now that's calling me out from John Maxwell, the five rules of leadership. And
Mhm.
I got about 30 pages in last night, and I'm like, man,
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was a lot farther along than I am.
Mhm.
And so, which is good, right? Because there's this thing I'm relying on John Maxwell's, I'm relying on the Ed Milet's, I'm relying on the Brent Wrights, but I'm also relying on the Blair Armstrongs
Mhm.
because I can read and talk and like, oh my God, I did this, this, and this. Okay, dude, you just put a hole in the universe. You better fill that quick. Because
Yeah.
someone else, what you just said, just using your example, if you don't fill that hole in the universe that you just ripped up into it, someone like Brent or someone like me is going to find that opportunity and we're going to come and take it. Life is not a hobby. Life is not a hobby.
Well, we all do it. We all tell ourselves lies.
Yeah.
Let's this one hit home. Have you ever told yourself about your health, a lie about your health,
Yeah. About
about
2 months ago.
about your money,
Yeah. Yep.
about how much you drink, about how young you really still are?
All the time.
Is self-delusion something that becomes necessary just to have sanity or self-confidence? Is that the white lie that doesn't hurt anybody? And then there's another one. Is a lie that hurts no one still wrong?
So I'm gonna answer that question with the question. How do you know it's not hurting somebody?
Correct. That's the kicker, right?
How do you know? Because your failure just stopped progression, a potential progression with somebody else.
Yep.
And we have become very self-absorbed. Well, just because I missed today, it's not going to hurt anybody but me.
Mhm.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah. Here's some feedback questions that I'd like for our listeners, followers. Comment in any of the platforms. What's your best or worst story of getting caught in a lie? Does honesty get easier or harder with age? And then, do you have any regrets, any lies that you regret that you wish you could take back?
Yeah. 10 by 10 room with the Pistain mattress came right to the forefront.
And then the last one for listeners to answer is, how would you rate yourself 1 through 10 on a scale of 1 through 10 of how much of a liar that you are?
Boy, that's some self-evaluation right there, right?
Well, that's the mirror exercise all in
Yeah.
itself, right?
Yeah.
So when you're doing your mirror exercise, ask yourself outwardly, not in your head. The purpose of the mirror exercise, guys, is to ask yourself questions verbally, because in your head, you can justify anything. But verbally, or if you write it down and ask yourself that question verbally, It's a lot harder to lie to yourself. And that's the purpose of the mirror exercise, is to expose the lies within yourself, adjust, confront, and deal with them. That's why you cry after a couple minutes. That's why you break down emotionally, is because you know you're lying to yourself to justify your existence, to justify your actions, to justify all the things that you didn't do the day before that you know you needed to do. That's the value of the power list.
So important, right? It's like a stupid book, but how important is that book?
Yeah.
Or just a power list in general. You don't even have to book. You keep it. I know that you have other methods to that, and that's fine. But the
Well,
power
my
list,
power list is a bazillion. Yes, I got my non-negotiables, so that's kind of like my power list.
yeah,
But my list of things I need to accomplish every day changes randomly at the turn of every 4 to 5 minutes. People put things on my calendar constantly throughout the day. That's the beauty of having a once hub or a Calendly link, is that I have control over my schedule and I don't have control over my schedule.
yeah,
It's good and bad.
man. You know, I'm going to go back to the mirror exercise and stuff like this, and again, lying to yourself and those things and I think that's where I get frustrated a lot. And I think that I do this, and this is why I like to have these conversations. So I'm hoping this helps somebody else out too as well. Is when I get frustrated because of standards that I am trying to maintain or you're trying to empower others with are not being met. I try to push it on them, but what I'm starting to learn to do is where did I fail to get that message across?
Hmm.
Because if I'm setting the standards and it's not being received the right way, I failed somewhere in the line of communication or actions to show the people that I have been put in front of. Again, it could be friendships, it could be team members, it could be whatever, it could be relationships with whoever. Right? If I'm frustrated, where's my lack of communication to really not only lead the right way, but my actions saying, okay, what you just said, this is a non-negotiable, and I'm not doing this for my health. I'm here to help you. I'll just put this out to all my friends and family and business associates and team members. If you think I'm failing somewhere, let me know. Because sometimes I have blind spots. Sometimes Brent has blind spots. Every business owner, entrepreneur, leader, whatever you want to be, it could be even in church, is going to have blind spots. And you got to be comfortable to let them know. And what that will do is open you up to vulnerability as well to accept those type of criticisms. I have a hard time, you and I both have talked about this a lot. We have a hard time being criticized.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's tough. It is the biggest horse pill you can swallow.
So I started doing this a number of years ago, is in specific situations, specific relationships, specific conversations. I will say, I'm going to be extremely vulnerable right now and ask for feedback, honest feedback, because I need to know where my holes are. I need to know what I need to fill. How many times have you heard this? No worries. I totally don't mind. Is that really ever true? Or is that just the national anthem of lying?
I think a lot of times that I use that word is like, yeah, no worries. I guess I'm just gonna have to pick up the pieces and get this done myself. And that solves nothing at the end of the day.
Here's one for you. If you don't correct someone's wrong assumption, are you still lying?
Yes.
Yeah. If they assume that you're more successful, if they assume you're the best. I usually go into something like our body shop or a detail shop. There are other people that might be better out there for me, than me. But what I can tell you is that we're going to give it our best effort, that we're going to try and make you happy, and we're going to care along the way. That is true. We do care, and we will do our best, and we will do everything that we can. I had a customer a couple weeks ago. What is the point of me bringing my car to you if I have to check it over? And my answer to him was, everybody has their own idea of what quality is. I want to make sure that we've given you the quality that you expect and deserve. So I need you to check it over to make sure you're happy.
And that's opening yourself up to criticism as well too in so many different
100%.
ways, right? And that's
100%.
what you need.
And that's what we need to grow, guys. We can't grow without it.
It's funny you say that because I've had my social media managers like, "Hey, I wanna start doing interviews with your past clients." And there's a part of like, yeah, okay, I've had pretty good rapport with all my clients over there over the last so many years of being a real estate agent. There's a part of me that scares the holy bejesus out of me. Maybe I did mess up a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you willing to hear that? Maybe if it's a year or 2 or 3 years later?
Well, do you send in your thank you card that you send out after a closing, do you send out, please rate these items on a scale
No.
of 1 to 5?
Yeah, I've totally missed the boat on that.
What difference would that make in the way that you change and engage with the next prospect
Massive,
if you knew that information, right?
massive. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause in our world too, and I see this all the time, and I think it's great to a certain extent. It's good to have because 'cause you're trying to gain credibility. Everyone shares like, "Oh, look at what my client wrote me. How sweet is this? I love my clients," and stuff like that. Okay, what about the bad ones?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to share it, but I think that's more important than getting a compliment.
Interesting side note on that. So we had a guy in here a couple days ago. We asked them for a review. We always ask for a review at the end of a service. And I said, if you can't put all 5 stars, I need to know why. And I need to know why you wouldn't refer us to your friends, neighbors, or family. And I said, we have a ton of our reviews. They're posted right up on the wall. And the guy said, there are probably all 5 stars that you posted on the wall, right? I said, no, there's actually a 1 star up there. He's like, really? Why would you post that up on your wall? I said, because I want to be truthful to our customers and know that we didn't hit the mark. But I also posted up there our response, right? Our response was, we are sorry we didn't hit the mark for you. Here's what we're willing to do. Call us, reach out to us, text us, whatever it is. We'll schedule it in. We'll pick it up. We'll deliver it. We'll fix the issue. And his response was, that's crazy. I've never seen anybody post a 1 star review up.
Yeah, yeah, especially yeah. I think that's true with a lot of people on there, or when they get a bad Yelp or something like this, they try to hide it. Well, it was worthy enough for them to take the time. Now, sometimes you just have, as you said, you have keyboard warriors that
Yeah.
go ahead
Yeah.
and they're just miserable in the first place.
Hmm.
But if there's validity into that anyway, going back to the team, going back to your employees, going back to yourself, okay, that was a blind spot. I can see where they said that. So regardless if this person was a problem customer, a problem, friendship, whatever it was to, when you're exposed to those blind spots, there's probably a little bit of validity into that. And it's basically going him like, okay, I'm no longer going to lie to myself. I thought that I was really, really good here, but I have to obviously make some changes and make some adjustments to go ahead and get back to where I could continually, chasing perfection and settling on excellence. I know that there's days that I'm going to fail. Failing is okay. As much as other people want to tell you that, failure is not an option. Well, it, it's going to happen. So own it, get over it, but figure it out. Don't brush it underneath the carpet. Address it. What is it? If it takes you 2 months to look at yourself in the mirror to address that failure, then address it and figure it out. And then go, or if you have a team or if you have a group of employees, hey, I'm missing this or somehow we're missing this. Where's my blind spot on this? And what are some suggestions that that you could give not only me, but to the team for us to be more aware of that of when this situation happens in the future?
Yeah. Well, here's one for you. Which is more dishonest, lying or staying silent because the truth is inconvenient or uncomfortable?
No, man, I don't even know how to answer that one.
So I get accused of being too direct, not agreeable enough. Had a lady yesterday, we called for a credit card machine. I was helping April with her new credit card machine. We just got a new CRM. And the lady says, is there anything else I can help you with? No, I called for a specific reason. You're unable to help me. That is the reason why I called. And you're not able to help me. So there's nothing else you can help me with unless you can help me with this problem. And April's like, why? She just told you she couldn't help you. Why you got to be mean about it? I'm like, I'm answering her question.
Just did that yesterday too.
I'm answering her question. I'm not being mean. I'm being truthful. If me being truthful about the fact that you didn't help me is mean, I apologize that you're taking it that way. Do I apologize for my directness? No, because I answered your question truthfully and honestly. You did not help me, and there's nothing else you can help me with. I called for this specific reason. I'm not here to make you feel better. You're a customer service representative. Do some customer service.
Just went through that the other day. I was about pulling my hair out, and it was as simple as it doesn't matter what it was. It's the same kind of situation. And like, is there anything I can help you with? I'm like, you kidding me? He said, are you kidding me? Did I give you a laundry list of stuff? I had this one issue. Did you help me? No. I go, I'm completely frustrated of how archaic this situation is. And here I am after an hour and a half of being on the phone with you, and we were still nowhere. So, no, you can't help me. And you go, well, I apologize, sir. And I go, yep. And I hung up.
Thanks for playing.
And I'm like, and then the funny thing, well, I have to elevate this ticket. Well, why don't you elevate the ticket right now?
Why don't you elevate an hour and a half ago when you said
Half
you
ago,
couldn't?
you didn't know what you're doing. That's okay that you didn't know what you're doing. I'm okay with that. But to keep me on the phone for an hour and a half trying to fix a simple problem, and realistically, dude, I got a phone call from the elevated ticket, and it took 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean,
Very,
it's just
very common.
it's a lot.
So,
Go ahead.
so here's a question for you. What's the lie you've told the most times in your life? Doesn't have to be complicated. Very simple.
Yeah,
What's the lie you've told yourself or others the most in your life?
I'll get back to you right away.
Yeah. Mine, I'll start tomorrow. Do I actually ever start tomorrow? Or do I keep moving it on my calendar day by day by day?
Yeah, yeah,
Mine is very simple. And it's been hitting me in the face every single night because again, I live by a calendar. Mine is I put on my calendar about a month ago. I told you guys I was going to do this. It's pray for my wife every night and pray with my wife every night. I pray for my wife every single night before I go to sleep, but I've only prayed with my wife 3 nights out of the last 30, and every night I dismiss my calendar item. April, I'm calling myself out. I'm going to try. I'm going to do better.
yeah,
I will stop lying to myself and saying, I prayed for you. So therefore I'm winning because I hit 50% of my goals.
yeah,
50% is still a loss, guys. That's a D minus
yeah.
or an F.
Right. No, dude, even you saying that, it's kind of pretty sure I'm pretty confident in saying this, but that's a goocher to you, right? That's a kick in the nutsack.
Yeah, 100%.
And more than any failures because
So,
she's your ultimate prize. I mean, and
yeah,
it's not a prize, it's a gift. Don't take my
but
prize word for the
but
word.
in that, I'm not just failing her, which I
Failing
am.
you.
I'm failing myself and I'm failing a promise that I made publicly and to God.
Yeah. That hurts my heart, dude. And I hear you. I'm the same route.
But I
I'm the
gotta
same
be, I
route.
mean, if I'm not honest here, where
Yeah.
can I be honest, right?
Right.
So I'm calling myself out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and do better. I will likely fail at that. But if I can even get to 20 out of the last 30 days, what a difference that'll make in our life. What a difference that'll make in my relationship with her, what my relationship with God, with myself.
Okay, man, you and I are holding each other accountable on that. I'm texting you every night. Did you pray with her? And you're going to text me back. I don't know. Did you pray for her or pray with her?
I'm gonna
So
add you to the calendar item so it goes off at
perfect.
9 o'clock every night.
I don't care. That's great. I will stay awake for you. I
You'll
will have,
stay awake for me.
well, I have my blue light special by then anyway. So it's all
I
right.
know, but I still know you're awake at 9 because I can see your light green on Instagram. You're still scrolling at 9
Still
o'clock.
scrolling. Like, why am I doing this? Because your voice in my head is like, doing that is going to keep you awake all night. I'm like,
Oh, yep. I just added you to the calendar item. There we're accountable to each other.
perfect. See that? See how easy that is? We had two guys that know that they mess up once in a while, and now they're going to hold each other accountable. And it's not only to help him get better and me get better, but we're going to help you get better.
Yeah.
So, all right, man, this was really good, guys, and I hope that you replay this a little bit of one. And I will have more to say, but Brent's going to kind of lead us out here for a little bit. But are you a liar? You lying to yourself? You lying to your friends? You lying to your wife? You lying to your boyfriend, your husband? You lying to your kids? Marinate in that because I'm going to marinate in it.
Yeah.
There's some ish that I have to adjust, and success could be your biggest failure, and success is fleeting. So, any final thoughts for you, my friend?
Self evaluation is the key to your ultimate success story or your failure story. Self evaluate every day, go out, make a damn difference for you, your family, and your community, and stop lying to yourself and stop lying to others.
All right, guys, we want you to become one of the leaders of Old Guys Still Rock. To do that, we need your help because we do not have any advertisers. We do not have any promoters. This is all organic. So this is what we need you to do to be a Old Guy Still Rock leader. We need you to hit that subscribe button. We need you to leave a comment. But most of all, we need you to share this show. We're not getting paid for it, so it's not making us any money. We are self-funded all the way through. It is time for you to stop lying to yourself and become that leader and use this as a tool to help you become a better leader. And when you become a better leader, we become a better leader and we all win. So that is my soapbox today. And I do not apologize for my passion today. But until we see each other again, stay safe. But most of all, God bless, guys. Take care.